look like you've got your wits about you. Care to make a bit of extra gold working for Leowin's Ivory Brigade? I've been asked by my captain to find someone who can handle themselves. We need help with a delicate situation. Deadly secrets, assassins, murder. Now apparently a counselor has gone missing. Between the war, bandits, and cultists, the Ivory Brigade is like the Nord that tries to plug a leaking cask of mead, only to realize he doesn't have enough fingers. Talk to my commander, Captain Rian Lior. You can find him just outside the city gates, trying to appease some of the nobles. Tell him I sent you, and he'll put you right to work, I'm sure.
Yeah! Yeah!
Over here, Initiate.
Ugh.
You have my word. If the counselor is in Leowin or the surrounding countryside, the Ivory Brigade will find her. Not now, citizen. Can't you see I have my hands full at the moment? I'm sure a guard or one of my brigadines can assist you. Why didn't you say so? Leowin's problems are legion, and now the Wood Elf Archer's predictions seem to be coming true. Damn these old Imperial secrets. Councillor Jirik has disappeared, and the Ivory Brigade is already spread too thin for my liking. The Wood Elf, Everly Sharparrow. She brought news that the Dark Brotherhood was targeting members of the Elder Council, all because of some secret of the Longhouse Emperors. We took her warning seriously, but Jirik refused Brigadine protection. With that guild of assassins, I'm not sure what to think. But Jirik is missing, and I don't have enough Brigadines at the ready to conduct a proper search. You look capable. Here, let me update your map. These are places Jirik visits during her daily routine. If something befell her, it happened somewhere along this path. Interesting. She arrived a short time ago with a tale straight out of a mystery novel. She said that Emperor Leovik's former steward had been murdered by the Dark Brotherhood, killed over some secret pertaining to the Longhouse Emperors. Ah, then you must be the associate she was waiting for. She'll be glad to hear that you've arrived. Everly presented her evidence to Councillor Leviticus, that the members of the Elder Council were in danger. He decided the threat was credible. Councillor Leviticus has kept her close, while the two of them try to make sense of this so-called secret.
Captain, are you really trusting the fate of Councillor Jirik to this outsider?
Oh, why didn't Councillor Jirik heed your warnings?
Martina and I worked closely together here in our early experimental days. Fond memories. Breathe in the herbal bouquet.
Counselor Jirik? Oh, pardon me. You're not the counselor. Apologies. I heard you stumbling about and thought it might be Counselor Jirik. Oh, no one important, I assure you. I'm simply one of the counselor's aides. I help her with paperwork mostly. Run errands, that sort of thing. She initially refused the captain's offer, but she received a letter that made her uneasy. Last I saw, she was headed back to the city by way of the Eastern Gate. But she never returned to her manor, so I came to look for her. Please.
Someone! Anyone! Help me!
Keep your eyes open for a good tea shop. Always happy to try a new blend.
I refused to believe. But Farrell, Leviticus, they were right. I was attacked. An assassin. You must warn the others. The counselors. Leovic...
Counselor Jirik! Damn, we're too late! Damn it. Looks like we were both too late. It's just like I expected when we found that list with all the counselors' names on it. I hate being right when somebody dies. Glad to see you made it here, by the way. Did you happen to see who killed her? The mark of the Dark Brotherhood, just like Farrell Lupus. Remember I said I was going to find Leviticus? Well, I did. The secret of the Longhouse Emperors. It has something to do with the 4 ambitions of Mehrunes Dagon. I think they're Daedric weapons, but that's all we know so far. Remember, I was working for Farrell Lupus. He sent me to find that strange tome. Right, and we found that list with all the counselors' names on it. Farrell's too. The one that suggested they all knew something about the ambitions. Since Farrell was murdered, I figured the others were in danger. Let me have your map. This is where Counselors Valeria and Sophis were last time I checked. Go warn them. I'll get the city guards to come and gather them.
What can we learn today?
Stay alert. I have it on good authority that I'm in danger.
Of course, Counselor.
Step back and state your business. I have every reason to believe that my life is in danger. If you so much as make a threatening gesture, the Brigandine will dismember you. I was beginning to suspect as much. Very well. Tell me everything that you have learned. Lupus, Emperor Leovik's old steward? And Jirik is the ambitions? I heard that term once before. Extremely well. We were rivals as well as colleagues on the Elder Council. Possibly. I oversaw the...
We weren't expecting visitors. Are you here to see the Are you here to speak with Counselor Sophis? I'm afraid my husband has taken our dog for a walk. Is there something I could help you with, perhaps? Danger? What are you talking about? Does this have something to do with that letter? And who are you, by the way? Captain Rianne? I see. Well, if the Ivory Brigade sent you, my husband likes to walk our dog Chero along the... My husband, Valen, received a letter from an old friend this morning. Farrell Lupus, Emperor Leovik's steward. I could see that whatever was in that letter upset him, but he didn't want to discuss it, and I didn't push... What's taking you so long? They should...
Valen! No! Oh, Valen! Oh, my love! What happened? I thought Captain Rianne sent you to protect my husband! You know, Valen acted strange after the letter from Farrell Lupus arrived. He didn't tell me what it said, and I never asked. Before he left today, he gave me a sealed scroll, said to give it to Counselor Leviticus. A scroll, sealed and bearing my husband's stamp. Take it. Give it to Counselor Leviticus.
I'm sure there are many who wish to wield the mace of the Crusader, but I could care less about the responsibility attached to such an honor. I'd rather live my...
Oh, hey! Over here! I'm glad you're here. I've been searching all over, but I could use your help. This place is huge. Why do rich people need so many rooms? Oh, but tell me, did you warn the counselors like I asked? Sophus is dead? Damn! Was it the Dark Brotherhood? What am I saying? Of course it was! I've torn this place apart, but so far I haven't found anything related to Imperial secrets or the... I knew you'd be a help, but I didn't expect you to just have the answer the moment you walked in. Good job! Counselor Jirik's bedroom is upstairs. Let's see if we can...
Ah, a new lead. The pursuit is on. Wisdom awaits.
A hidden compartment? I love it! I mean, I hate that people have died, but... So, what did you find? Let me see that. That's a code, all right. Some of the other documents I found use something similar. You know, I'm really starting to hate all this secrecy surrounding the ambitions. I'm almost certain of it. And Counselor Leviticus knows my brother. We talked about him a bit when I arrived. If there isn't a qualified scribe nearby, I can send for my brother. I can't help feeling that once we solve the secret of the law...
Maybe I should start robbing fresh graves. I'm already surrounded by flies. Though with the luck I'm having, I'll probably end up getting chased by a Draugr.
I need your report, mercenary. Word reached me that Councillor Jirik was murdered. What about Sophus and Valeria? And did you find definitive proof that the Dark Brotherhood is our culprit? That's the Black Hand, symbol of the Dark Brotherhood. I wish Jirik and Sophus had allowed me to assign brigadines to protect them. At least Valeria, however reluctantly, agreed to a military escort. Did you and Everly uncover any other information? It appears that Councillor Leviticus's trust in the Wood Elf was not misplaced. Very well. You and Everly can head in and talk to the Councillor.
Captain Rian and the Ivory Brigade will deal with the Dark Brotherhood. We are perfectly safe in here.
Your damn empire, Leviticus. It no longer exists, but it still causes us trouble.
You must be the mercenary that Captain Rian told me about. And I see you're working with Everly Sharparrow. Good. Damn it all to oblivion and back. I should have taken Faro Lupus more seriously when I received his letter. This is definitely the mark of the Dark Brotherhood. Yes, that's the Longhouse Emperor's code. Only a handful of Imperial scribes can decipher it. I know one. Baragon. I'll send for him at once. Meanwhile, we must warn the remaining councillors. Very good. I've sent messages to Itinia and Vandacia already, as neither of them are currently within Leowin's jurisdiction. I need you to go to Fort Blueblood. Councillor Abel. Everything we do now must be swift if we are to get ahead of this. Go to Fort Blueblood and convince Councillor Abor to return to the city. She'll be safe. Sadly, no. Whatever Leovic confided in Faro Lupus and the others, whatever he ordered them to do, he kept it a complete secret from me. I suppose he assumed I wouldn't. I was. But the Elder Council was made up of almost 24 councillors. According to the list Everly Sharparrow brought me, only 7 councillors were privy to this secret. Make that 6. I have no idea why Leovic listed me among that group. Who knows what was going through Leovic's head when he wrote that entry in his journal? Abor has always had an affinity for the Imperial military. When she received her letter, only a token force...
Fort Blueblood? That's to the east across the river. I'll meet you there.
Something you wanted?
Perhaps we can complete a writ or two on our downtime, hmm? gratuitous!
These cheeky creatures think I can't tell them apart. But I know who's eating. Can't let one of them hog all the food. Not when they're so excited about the treasure they've stuck in that new hiding place of theirs. I knew that would get your attention. I'm not the sort of woman who would lie, you know. Can't tell you where it is, not with all these little ones running around. They don't want it to be too easy for you. I can give you a hint, though. There's a rock nearby. Look, I never said the hints would be helpful. I'm tired of the squirrel's annoying chatter. Still, these little creatures have been my loyal companions for a long time. I'd like to see someone else grow to respect their usefulness like I have.
It's pleasant when the environmental and geographic elements of a locus are so neat.
Look, Counselor Leviticus and Captain Rianne sent me. I need to see Counselor Abor now.
And what about my sister? She hasn't been seen since she took the Counselor her meal.
Counselor Abor was very clear about this. She doesn't want to be disturbed. Oh, another mercenary. Is our Ivory Brigade so enfeebled that Captain Rianne must resort to hiring sellswords? Look, as I told the Wood Elf, Counselor Abor was quite insistent. She doesn't want— All right, enough. I can see when I'm being overruled. Very well. I give you permission to enter the Watchtower. Counselor Abor's safety is now in your— Lurius? Oh, something about his sister. She's another servant here at the fort. Works in the kitchen, I believe. Apparently, she brought the Counselor her meal. He says she never returned, but the servants look for any opportunity to— The Counselor demanded we protect her. Said her life was in danger, but refused to give me any details. Imperial confidentiality, she insisted. Above my station. I put her up in the Watchtower and assigned a couple of brigadiers.
Oh no! Counselor Abor's been murdered! But where's the servant? Abor's meal is still warm. So what happened to the servant that delivered it? The Dark Brotherhood's calling card. tore out the pages and took them, just when we were so close to finding out more about the ambitions. We have a door locked from the outside, a dead counselor, and a missing servant. Did the assassin take off with both the torn-out journal pages and the servant? Anyway, they not only murdered Eivor, they probably know how to find the ambitions now. See that rope hanging from the top of the tower? Bet my bottom acorn that's how the assassin got in and out. But the missing servant... something about that is knocking on the back of my head. And why would the Dark Brotherhood take those pages? Maybe, but everything I've read about the Dark Brotherhood never suggested they would be interested in weapons of war, if that's even what the ambitions are. Damn it, we're loosing arrows in the dark here.
So, will Counselor Eivor be returning with you to Leowyn? Am I finally going to be able to get my fort back in order? Murdered? Gods, keep your voice down. Do you want to start a panic? Tell me what you found in the watchtower. Let me see that. A black handprint. The sign of the Dark Brotherhood. But where is the servant, Talais? Is she involved in this fiasco? And how did she and the assassin get out of the watchtower? Well, that explains some of it, but not all. We need to locate Talais. Since you're already involved and working for Captain Rian, I want you to quietly try to find Talais. Start by talking to the other servants in the kitchen and dining hall.
Your sister is fine. This one is certain.
Then where could she be? She would never neglect her duties.
Probably found a dark corner and someone to snuggle with. This one does that all the time. Pleasant days, visitors. How can this one assist you? Ah, Talais. She worries her brother so. She asked me where we kept the hot root flakes. Counselor Eivor sprinkles them on every dish. I told her they are in the pantry, but you need the key from the kitchen to unlock them.
All right, grab a broom and start sweeping.
What? No, that's Talais's job.
And do you see Talais anywhere? No. Then start sweeping.
Another new face in the fort? First Counselor Eivor, now you and that cute wood elf. Look, I'd love to chat, but Talais has wandered off and left me to handle her chores. She took the Counselor her meal and hasn't returned. Did you check the watchtower? Eivor's a little old, but maybe Talais decided to improve her station, if you catch my meaning. Eivor reeks of fear. Maybe Talais finds that attractive. Well, she's been acting like a frightened guar since she arrived. Stays locked up in the watchtower. Only lets a single servant in at a time. And I hear she's been burning papers. Documents of some kind. She's scared out of her wits, if you ask me.
The servants come to the kitchen to mutter and gossip. This one will not have it. Misaba asks that you do not distract them overly long, as they are already naturally lazy. What is it that you need? That young woman. She has not returned from the watchtower, so her chores remain undone. And she took the pantry key with her when she went. It is no longer hanging on its hook. That is a clear violation of the kitchen rules. A clear violation. The pantry is in the cellar, but the door is around the side of the building. Teleus mumbled something about how the counselor loves hot root flakes, grabbed the key and the tray of food and went off. This one hasn't seen her.
Before we check the pantry, let's talk. So, what did we learn? Counselor Abor was frightened, but that's understandable. Interesting that she was burning documents. Her journal indicated that she knew more than the others. And Talays visited the pantry before heading to the watchtower. Couldn't hurt. And every mystery novel I ever read taught me you should always follow up on every clue, even the ones that seem insignificant. Let's check the pantry and see if she was looking for more than hot root flakes down there. Is that... Damn it! They murdered Talays too! Why would the Dark Brotherhood murder... Oh no! We need to talk about this. Alright, I think I figured it out. The assassin followed Talays down here, murdered her, and took her place so they could gain access to the watchtower. Pretty clever, but they didn't have to kill her. Right. Very funny. Wait, you're serious? If you're part of this, if you've been trying to save your murdering friends... Ah! Alright, we're going back to Leowyn. You can walk on your own or I can drag your dead body behind me. Yeah, I've read that somewhere. But what about the calling cards? The Black Hand is definitely making a statement. Trying too hard to convince us that the Dark Brotherhood is behind the murders. All right, I can see your point. That doesn't change the fact that the remaining counselors are still in danger. We need to warn Counselors Valeria and Vandacia. Right. Report to Commander Orton on your way out. Tell him what happened. Then go check on Counselors Valeria and Vandacia. I need to return to Leowyn and consult with Leviticus. But this, between you and I, it isn't over. Remember that. After you report to the Commander, make contact with Counselors Valeria and Vandacia. Valeria went to Tidewater Cave to get her records, and Vandacia works in the Gideon Courthouse. Cracked acorns! I said... Yes. No, I don't know. We were talking about the counselors. Valeria and Vandacia. Suddenly I had... a premonition. It was brief and disturbing and mildly unpleasant, like the dreams I've been... Remember I told you about that strange book I found? The one with the Daedric writing that I can't read? I've been having bad dreams since I found it, and the dreams are becoming more frequent. This time it happened right while we were talking. It was just a flash, but it was accompanied by a feeling. I felt a sense of overwhelming evil, all tied up in the figure I saw in my mind. Like someone held a portrait in front of my face for just a moment and then pulled it away. It was one of the Waking Flame cultists, I think. Someone powerful, in command. A dark silhouette wrapped in a cloak. I'll never forget the feeling it invoked. It was like a...
All right. You talked to the fort's servants and rummaged around in our pantry. What's the verdict? Did you find the missing servant? That's... Oh, that's horrible. Are you sure? No. Of course you're sure. No one would lie about something like that. I'll tell her brother what happened and send someone to tend to her body.
Planning to improve your equipment while you're here? Smart.
I was attacked in the streets of our fair city, Keshu. I demand you deal with the criminal post-haste.
Your guards did their job, Counselor Vandacia. The prisoner is secure.
And what's this? More assassins? Explain yourself immediately. One attempt on my life today is more than enough. If you're another one of those Dark Brotherhood bastards, I assure you, you won't find either myself or Governor Keshu to be easy prey. Warn me? As always, Leviticus offers too little and too late. I received the letter, same as the other counselors. My personal guard took the threat seriously, and we captured the assassin in the act. But what of my esteemed colleagues? Are they safe? Dead? All three of them? This is unimaginable. Feral Lupus's letter suggested the Longhouse Emperors left behind a secret that would prove to be a threat. But I thought he was just being melodramatic. Has Leviticus determined what this is about? Four ambitions. Never heard of them. How could something I know nothing about make me a target of the Dark Brotherhood? It's got to be a mistake. You must question the prisoner. Get him to confess and reveal. Governor Keshu locked the prisoner in the holding cell in the courthouse basement. Question the villain and find out why the Dark Brotherhood is trying to wipe out anyone who was part of the Imperial Elder Council. I'll head for Leowin afterward. I wish there was something I could tell you. The letter I received suggested that some old council business was the cause of all this. Why the Dark Brotherhood would be interested in such menial affairs, I'm not sure. I'm completely baffled. Keshu the Black Fin. War hero, progressive Argonian, and governor of our fair city of Gideon. I serve as an advisor and bureaucrat. Nothing more. I have deep roots in Gideon, so I try to do my part.
Why is this the first I am hearing of a threat against the former members of the Elder Council? I should have been alerted to this the moment it came to light. The Chamber of Legates and the Ivory Brigade are usually quicker to share a prudent precaution. Leowin Castle can be better defended than anything we have here. I only locked the prisoner in the cell a few moments ago. I was trying to get more details out of Counselor Vandacia when you entered the courthouse. Since you're working for Captain Rian, I will allow you to interrogate the not much. Von Dacia and his guards brought him in. The cell door is open. What happened here?
Poured something on the lock.
Some sort of acid.
Hit me.
Right through the lock.
And escaped.
Look, there's more of it on the floor.
He ran that way, toward the old ruins.
He almost knocked me over. How rude.
He attacked this legionnaire and ran into the ruins of the old city.
Still fighting.
You're persistent, I'll give you that. All right, let's chat. Well met, sister. If I'd realized you were in the area, I would have suggested we meet for a meal at the Egg and Hammer. The chef makes a superb mudhopper stew. I suppose you're chasing me because of the incident at the courthouse, hmm? Well, aren't you a fast reader? Look, if you're here about Councillor Van Dacia's accusations, you have to know they aren't true. From your time with the Brotherhood, you must remember that if we set out to kill someone, they wind up dead. Evidence. I told the Speaker those calling cards would get us into trouble. It's not like we signed them or anything. Anyone can dip their palm in black ink and make a handprint. Look, there have been no contracts. I'm here on different business. Good question. As soon as you figure it out, let me know. I definitely want to have a chat with them myself. Now, it's been lovely seeing you again, but I really do need to get back to my daring escape. If you learn anything, I'll be in touch. If you come to any conclusions, do let me know. Ta-ta.
keep your eyes open for a good tea shop. Always happy to try a new blend.
So, the mercenary from Leowin has returned. Tell me, were you able to capture the assassin? Or perhaps you killed him in battle once you caught up to him? I am eager to hear. Allow me to peruse the document, if you will. Proof positive that the Dark Brotherhood is in Blackwood. We must find this sanctuary and destroy it. What did you expect? Such lies fall from his lips like rain from the sky on a stormy day. Villains never freely admit their guilt. The evidence is right here in this letter. Meet me in Leowin and we'll share. What? Oh, my personal guard are nearby and these legionnaires are sufficient. You need not be concerned. As for Keshu, she had business to attend to. Get...
Offend you somehow.
The mercenary. A few moments later, and you would have found an empty cave. Your timing really is impeccable. We've already packed up my records, and we're about to head out. But what news of the other counselors? Did your warnings reach them in time? All three of them? That's disheartening news. Well, I'll take my records to Leowyn. Perhaps between the two of us, Counselor Leviticus and I can ascertain what past incident... Oh, just a lifetime of public service and bureaucracy. Mostly financial records, but also meeting notes, ledgers, those sorts of things. I oversaw budgets and finances, the collection of taxes, public works, and I kept immaculate records. That's good to hear. Emperor Leovic loved to hide things in coded documents. But what about Counselor Vandacia? Do we know if he's still safe in Gideon? Perfect. I look forward to conferring with the remaining members.
Planning to improve your equipment while you're here? Smart.
Dark Brotherhood. They must be driven out of Blackwood.
I still can't figure out why they would be targeting us, Vandacia.
Eliminate the threat first. Then we can seek answers.
All of the remaining counselors in Blackwood are gathered here in the castle. Valeria, Vandacia, and myself. While we await the arrival of the scribe I sent for, tell me what you uncovered in Gideon. I'm not sure I agree with Vandacia's assessment. Yes, I remember reports of their presence early in Morikar's reign, but they were driven out. The assassins must see this as the perfect opportunity to reclaim their base, but what does that have to do with Leovic's secret and the ambitions? Vandacia, Valeria, and I were just discussing that. We think Leovic had each of the counselors unknowingly working on a different aspect of the Ambitions project. They each had access to a piece of the puzzle, but no one but Leovic knew everything. That's our prevailing theory. If the counselors ever came together to compare notes, the truth of the Ambitions would be revealed. Indeed. Very curious. Still, I'm hesitant to take the word of an admitted killer at face value. Not with so much at stake. Regardless, Jirik's and Sophis' documents contain information written in Imperial code. Whatever the truth behind the murders of my fellow counselors, we can't allow the... Until we know more, I'm not prepared to engage in an all-out war with the Dark Brotherhood.
Hey, partner, over here. All right, you heard Leviticus. Time to get back to work. While the counselors remain here and wait for the scribe to show up, we need to determine what your Dark Brotherhood friends are actually up to. Show me that letter you found in Gideon. Yeah, these are definitely orders. It mentions Blood Run Cave. That's northeast of Leowyn, toward the edge of Blackwood territory. Well, as the spinners always say, the best way to find out what's happening in the clearing is to step into it. Of course it does. Nothing has been easy since I found that strange book and started chasing down Leovic's secret. Well, are you still interested in solving the mystery of the Ambitions? Will you come with me to Blood Run Cave? Meet me at Blood Run Cave. Despite your assurances, we need to determine beyond a shadow of a doubt whether the Dark Brotherhood is behind the murders or not. I'm still not sure I can trust you. You're an assassin, and you only just told me. All right, but why keep it a secret from me? We were trying to prevent the counselors from being murdered, but 4 people had to die before you decided to mention your connection to the murderers. Oh, sorry, possible murderers. Yeah, we did, didn't we? All right, your secret's safe with me. But if the Dark Brotherhood turns out to be involved and you lied to me, well, let's assume that's not going to happen. I just hope I don't have another one of those waking... Remember back at Fort Blueblood when we found the murdered servant? I had a vision of a shadowy figure. It was a robed and hooded cultist. Order of the Waking Flame, I think. It was brief and powerful, over in a moment, but the figure felt evil. What else could it be? It's written in an unknown language. Probably Daedric. Lupus sent me to find it, so it must be important. The last vision was a warning about the cultists. I can't let them get this book. I'll hang on to it, no matter what. I'll meet you at
Blood Run Cave is a dangerous place, whether the Dark Brotherhood is present or not. You and Evely should be on your guard at all times. Watch out for each other. Evely brought word of a threat against the former members of the Imperial Elder Council, including Councillor Leviticus. The threat seems to be related to a secret of the Longhouse Emperors. A secret concerning something called... we don't actually know. We sent for an Imperial scribe to decipher the coded documents. Leviticus, Valeria, and Vandacia are safely ensconced in Leowyn Castle. Unfortunately, we couldn't save Jirik, Sophis, and Eivor. You found the Dark Brotherhood's calling card. Assassins are not the most reliable source of truth. Still, that's part of what we're sending you to their sanctuary to determine.